All right. Peace, 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 peace. I hope you're doing all right out there on this beautiful Wednesday. Just opening up my situation. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gonna let folks come on in for a second, then talk about it for a minute. Then I'm gonna get on out of here. I'm really hungry today. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Not even gonna lie to you. This fast is it's whooping me today. Don't need that. Don't need that. Oops, there it is. Oops, pardon me. There we go. Peace, 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 peace. All right, all right, all right. Peace. I'm Rami Salam El. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Official Moorish Science Temple of America in Oakland, California. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, it's going down. Give folks a second before I get to talking about it. Just give a little information about the logic and the thought process, and putting the intentions out there, and then we're gonna make it happen. This is just the first step, but I felt peace, 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 food exotics. I felt compelled to come live and speak about it. Pause. Peace, peace, peace from Canada, from Ottawa, Canada. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate you stopping in. Okay. Where do we begin? The reason. Why are you trying to open up a Moorish Science Temple in Oakland? Let's take it back. When I first got into this movement, I was seeking out the temples, trying to find an official temple. Couldn't find anybody in the Bay Area, California, really. Was trying to seek, maybe I could find somebody in Chicago and figure out how to become a member. I don't know. This, and mind you, this is like 2011-ish, 2012. Find a guy and I can sign up to be part of that subordinate temple. I'm like, cool, pay for the membership dues. All right, I'm a part of it. Then I find out they ain't really doing nothing. And it's operating a lot like different other religious organizations. I'm going to do my best not to single people out like that. But it wasn't operating the way I was reading and studying and seeing that Noble Drew Ali had things going. And I'm like, well, why aren't we teaching? Where's the YouTube channel? Where's this, that? And it's slow motion. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just keep studying. Then I got sent on the path of Taj Tariq Bey and RV Bey Publications and that whole ideology and belief system and their offshoot organizations and groups and all of that stuff. Got tangled in that web, still trying to figure it out. Found myself mixed in with some other people that was out here, and I was doing these study group sessions and things was going well, but they're talking about Great Seal and a completely separate organization. I'm like, well, we moving far and farther away from what Noble Drew Ali set up. He talking about all sorts of stuff that don't got nothing to do with Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's when I took a step back. I said, let me start over. Read everything I could about Noble Drew Ali, the Moorish Science Temple, Moorish Science, etc. That's when I found the Supreme Grand Council. I asked the people that I was associated with and other quote-unquote grand sheiks or people that call themselves grand sheiks, and nobody could provide an answer. And then the further I kept digging, the more I realized just how unfortunately dysfunctional and not operating, stagnant. How stagnant the Moorish Science Temple of America became as an organization because they hadn't been addressing the Supreme Grand Council. So then I started speaking specifically on that, making a bunch of videos. Matter of fact, rather than show you, man, I'll just pull that up. But I was speaking about a bunch of different videos in regards to the Supreme Grand Council and doing my best to, let me get the whole playlist together so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Doing my best to speak to these issues because I realized just how important it is. And that's when I started getting attacked and, oh, Rami is an agent and Rami is this, because I started becoming very critical of Moors. Can we see that there? All right, so I just wanted to show you, this is the whole playlist. If you look Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple, you can find the playlist of me addressing this issue. The oldest video was 8 years ago. And, plenty of videos. I need to add some more in here. I updated in a few. My point being is that it's focusing on the Supreme Grand Council and realizing we need that to operate the organization, the Moorish Science Temple, properly. In the midst of that, I became more aware of just how many scams and offshoot organizations there are, or were and are. Just how many people are teaching, what is called sovereign citizen teachings or more sovereign citizen ideology, even if they don't realize it. And more than anything, I've realized the perception that other people have about Moorish Americans, about Noble Drew Ali, about Moors in general, about the Moorish Science Temple. And the perception is not one that I want to be reflected of us. It's, people see Moors as a cult, as sovereign citizens, as crazy, as, these extremists, as these just internet people that just talk a bunch of nonsense on the internet, squatters, etc., etc., etc. And that's not who true Moorish Americans are. And so we have to change that. And I've been addressing some of the frauds and some of the scams and some of the lies. But I was doing some reflecting more recently, especially during Ramadan, about being the change you wish to see. And one of the critiques that I often get, people will say, well, what are you doing, Rami? You talking about Taj and you calling this person out and that person out, but what are you doing? And I make it a point not to speak so much about what I'm doing on this channel, because that's not what I created this for. However, that critique is valid. I think it is a fair question to ask, well, what are you doing? And it's like, yeah, I am doing some things, got a lot of different things going on. But as it relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America, are you being the change you wish to see, Rami? Are you, you're saying these people are not operating the temple correctly and these people aren't doing this. Well, are you operating the temple? Have you put forth a serious effort to be that example so people can say, oh, well, this is how it's supposed to be? So that people can look and say, okay, we know that there's a solid temple in Oakland that people can go to information for. Being fair, being honest, no, I haven't taken that step. I did, what I thought was right and tried to create this, hip hop subordinate temple, but I went about it the wrong way. Realized I made some mistakes, got to correct that. That being said, I said, you know what? I'll take the responsibility and accountability and be that example. Hence this video, starting an official Moorish Science Temple of America in Oakland, California. That about sums it up. But in saying that, I said, well, whoa, wait a second. Now you just being egotistical, Rami. What if there already is a Moorish Science Temple in America in Oakland that's operating this official? What if there already is and you just were clueless about it? Maybe it's happening and you don't know nothing about it. So I said, you're right. Let me take a step back, do my due diligence. Let me do some searching and see, is there in fact any more Science Temple of Americas in Oakland or the Bay Area? And I did some research. If anybody that's watching, if you know of any in the Bay Area, Northern California, drop the website or the name of the temple, some contact information, put in the chat, put in the comment section. In the meantime, between time, we're gonna go over here. Let me see if I can just go ahead and pull this up one time for you so you can see it too. Okay, let's see. Yeah. I'll show you briefly because it's here, but I also had the links ready so I don't have to just go through the searching. Boom. So then we go here, pull this up on the screen for you. And I just went to favorite search engine, went to the Google's Moorish Science Temple of America, Oakland, California. What popped up there is apparently one called the Moorish Science Temple of America 1928 in Richmond, but only a phone number, not much information. Then there's also this one here that I found that says Oakland, California, Mission 23, but it's inactive and restricted. Now, granted, this is from one of the Moorish Science Temple of America websites. There's a few different ones, and this is another one which was different than the first one. And this doesn't even show up. Oh, that was my website from way back in the day. This doesn't even show up the thing that, here it goes right here. Boom. So then I found this one. Oh, shoot. You see that there? Then I found this one, right? Moorish Science Temple of America, Oakland, #1. And they got a recent post, okay? And I saw some stuff here, and it's like, okay, that's okay. I'm seeing some stuff. But unfortunately, I'll just be honest with you. The more I started searching, I saw this picture here, and I became a bit hesitant. I'm gonna just be straightforward because there was a point in time where I was working with this gentleman right here. I don't know if you can see it. Oh shoot, that's way zoomed out. My fault, y'all. Let me get stuff off the screen. Boom. I was working with this gentleman here, and his name, or he goes by Cosmo L. So I'm not gonna lie. Once I saw that, I was a bit apprehensive about the alleged temple in Oakland, only because I was working with him at the time. And matter of fact, let me not talk about it. Can I pull this up here? Boom. He was one of the people that I spoke with offline, because people always say, how come you always calling people out online and in the public? Why don't you talk behind the closed doors? This individual, I spoke with Cosmo L behind closed doors about the Supreme Grand Council and tried to ask him about it, and he didn't have any good answers, to justify or clarify why the Supreme Grand Council wasn't operating. And then I saw him after I started speaking about the Supreme Grand Council publicly. He posted this. This is back on Facebook. I'll read it. I'll read it real quick. And it's titled "To Moors Knocking the Nation RE Supreme Council," which is speaking about me, just because at the time there was nobody that was speaking about the Supreme Grand Council. It says, if the Moorish Science Temple of America has no temples, officials, councils, etc., it would still exist lawfully and functionally, receive donations, property. Hold on 1 second. it was still it would still exist lawfully and functionally, receive donations, property, land, etc., and in spirit until some Moors woke up and began to do the responsible work and takes charge of managing the temporalities of the nation. If evil folks are in charge, it's the duty of the righteous to lawfully dispose of such ones. Those who think there needs to be a functional supreme council over all said bodies that exist today, or anything else for what prophets Noble Drew Ali laid down to be lawful, are incompetent of Moorish American law and or don't know religious, corporate, or Mohammedan law. I'm gonna read that sentence one more time. Those who think that there needs to be a functional Supreme Grand Council, that's speaking about me. I was the person speaking on Supreme Grand Council saying that we need to have a functioning one since 2015. So those that think there needs to be a functional Supreme Grand Council or anything else for what Prophet Noble Drew Ali laid down to be lawful are incompetent of Moorish American law and or don't know religious, corporate, or Mohammedan law. Essentially calling me incompetent. I don't know what I'm talking about. He goes on to say temples specifically are organized in conjunction with the prophet in grand major and grand temples, chapter 47, not a supreme council. Also, each jurisdiction forms its own 7 etc. Wake up and organize in your local and stop making excuses for the sins of omission. If you are proclaimed or conscious more than civic duty and or religious duty with your local Moorish American temple and government or civic organization, study group, etc., is your responsibility. If there is one in you locality, I don't know, I apologize. And how can one participate nationally without organizing and making meaningful impact in one's own local community first? Yet only the divine thought pattern will overstand Islam. The one thing that I just wanted to highlight is that Cosmo L believes that there doesn't need to be a functioning Supreme Grand Council, and that people that think that are incompetent of Moorish American law and don't know religious, corporate, or Mohammedan law. What Noble Drew Ali established was the Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple of America, the organization. It's not something that I created. And again, if there's people that are claiming to be a part of the organization, but are speaking against what Noble Drew Ali created, what Noble Drew Ali instituted, they are literally working against, they are in opposition to Noble Drew Ali, such as Cosmo L, unfortunately. And I just wanted to, highlight this as well. I'm speaking about, there we go. We're speaking about scamming. We're speaking about fraudulent activity. We're speaking about people that are misleading, misguiding folks. This is part of the problem. He's linked up with Sabir Bey, who was integral in pushing Taj and pushing that whole scam and the fraud that they were pushing with RV Bey and the classes and the lectures and the license and all of that nonsense. I say that to say, still not judging. Wanted to, let me take a step back. Let me look. So I went to the website. Because I found this right here. Let me show you this. So we'll just walk it step by step so people understand the thought process. I don't want people saying, well, Rami, there already is a Moorish Science Temple in Oakland. Here we go. Here's the YouTube page. I'm not sure who runs it or who's in charge of it. There's no faces or no people in these videos, and started just a few weeks ago, but it has a website. If you can see here, prophetnobledrewali.org. That's the website for the quote unquote Moorish Science Temple of America, Oakland, #1. Okay. This is what it has right here. So we're just going to walk. Can we see? Oh, no. Let me share this one. Boom. So this is where it takes you. All right. It takes you here. Looking at the website, this is supposed to be the Moorish Science Temple of America, Oakland website. They have, all of the typical things that you would see to give the appearance that it's legitimate. It has the divine constitution for the organization. It has our authority, a legal document for the Moorish Science Temple of America, the organization. It has some quotes. It has some readings from Noble Drew Ali and photos. So it appears and looks like it's legitimate. It's official. Let's go to service and products. I just want to show. Okay, they got books. Little confused about a Khalifa convention, but no worries. It got books and apparently products. Okay, you got books for sale. All right, literature. All right, let me go to contact us. Maybe have some information about the people. And this is where I wanted to show y'all. And it's what honestly kind of sealed the deal for me in saying that I need to take a step forward and create an official Moorish Science Temple of America out here in Oakland, because I don't want people to be misled. So I see this website. I'm scrolling. I see hours, Monday through Sunday, 7 Eyes of Allah. I don't know what time that is. But online now, it says inline 24/7. Time never was when man was not 7. I don't know when the actual hours are. It seems like some sort of riddle. But then I come down here and now I'm confused. It says National Grand Sheik Nathaniel Booth L, location Hawaii. So then I realized Nathaniel Booth L is Cosmo L. And now I'm confused because this is the website for the Moorish Science Temple of America for Oakland. And yet it says he's a national Grand Sheik and his location is Hawaii. Hold on for a second. So I'm confused. If this is the website for the Moorish Science Temple of America in Oakland, why is it showing and highlighting a person that's in Hawaii and he's the national Grand Sheik? I'm not even sure how he became the national Grand Sheik. That seems a little strange. But let me continue sharing because it's something important that I want to highlight. Was it this? A brief bio. I think it was in his bio. Let's see. In 2013, he joined Moorish Science Temple, California 101. And he says he was appointed a Grand Sheik. Is this it? I apologize. I've seen this. Yes, here we go. This is important. This is important here. It says this is his, Cosmo L, also are now known as Nathaniel Booth L. As the Unity movement grew in California, he helped to establish a Grand Temple under the name Grand Temple Khalifa. Now, and also served as chairman of the Khalifa Grand Council. Hold on. I didn't even see that the last time. And this is honestly making me a little frustrated. So I was working with this dude. Then I found out about the Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple of America. I asked him and other quote unquote Grand Sheiks about the Supreme Grand Council. This Cosmo L person said, "Oh, you don't need that to operate the Moorish Science Temple of America. You're ignorant or incompetent of Moorish American law and religious corporate law and Mohammedan law." This is what he said to me. And then he goes and creates, let me pull it back up. Then he goes on. Are y'all understanding being said, he goes on to create his own Grand Temple Khalifa and a Khalifa Grand Council of his organization. So when I was bringing to the people and to him, who was supposed to be a Grand Sheikh, when I was saying, why don't we have this Supreme Grand Council operating? Like, why isn't it functioning? We need this. This is what Noble Drew Ali set up. He said I was incompetent. No, was it incompetent? I think it was incompetent. I'm forgetting. I'm a little frustrated. What did he say again? Yes, I'm incompetent of Moorish American law. And then he goes and turns around and creates an offshoot organization, the Grand Temple Khalifa, and then creates and serves as the chairman of the Khalifa Grand Council. So the Supreme Grand Council for the Moorish Science Temple of America, that's not needed. But he went and created a Khalifa Grand Council to serve as the chairman of that. Oh, man. And then it goes on to say he's currently the National Grand Sheikh of the Uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's slick language. I don't know how he could be a National Grand Sheikh, and maybe the Uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not the same as the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm just saying this because there are far too many people who claim to be Moors, who claim to be Moorish nationals or Grand Sheiks that will use slick language like that, or say, oh, the Great Seal Temple and it's the Temple of the Moors, but it's their own offshoot organization. And as you can see, it says Booth L is also the current CEO of Moorish Science Temple California, Inc., the oldest Moorish American institution in California. So that is another separate organization, not the Moorish Science Temple of America. That is the Moorish Science Temple California, Inc. So then he's the CEO of that. He is a chairman of the Khalifa Grand Council. He's also the National Grand Sheikh. This Cosmo L / Nathaniel Booth L. And this is the part that I wanted to highlight. I want to make sure that it's nice and him. This is Cosmo L. And I want to read this. This goes to his Moorish. He's the CEO of this. His Moorish Science Temple of America, California, Inc. is a charity temple and is not to be confused with the Moorish Science Temple of America, California, our religious society under Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I just want you to understand. He created and is the CEO of this Moorish Science Temple of America, California, Inc., a separate organization, and it's a charity temple. So what you give to that charity temple is going to that charity temple. It's not for the Moorish Science Temple of America as a religious, as the organization, the national organization that Noble Drew Ali created. No, it's what he created. And I bring that up to say clearly the Moorish Science Temple of America, Oakland, #1, that's listed, no disrespect, but that's not a Moorish Science Temple of America. That's not an official temple. And it's misleading and it's fraudulent to present yourself as such when you really created your own organization to get charity and funds. And then I saw he created a retreat in Hawaii. So it's just like, I don't even want to get into all that. My point is that when I was looking into this information, I saw clearly that there is no official Moorish Science Temple in Oakland or the Bay Area for that matter. And because of the countless amount of frauds and scams and lies, it's important and necessary for me to step forward and be an example of a Moorish Science Temple of America that's legitimate, that's actually going by the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, that is teaching us about our religious creed and also to be better citizens of the United States of America. That's what this organization was and is about. It's not about driving without a license, or squatting in somebody's home, or telling police and judges, the police officers and judges, they don't have jurisdiction, or any of that nonsense. So if you're seeing this and you're interested in joining the Moorish Science Temple of America, you're in the Bay Area, I would love for you to join. I would love for you to reach out and contact me. You can reach me. My email is, at least for now, iamhhtemple@gmail.com. Also, just drop a message in the comment section saying I'm interested. I want to be a part. I want to learn more. I have some questions, whatever it is. And we're going to go about this the right way. I'm going to go down to City Hall, probably not this week, but early next week, and speak to some individuals there, and get some clarity. And we're going to start setting up some study groups, going to do some outreach. And we are going to be the proper representation of Moorish Americans, the proper representation of a Moorish Science Temple of America. And we're going to lead by example, because unfortunately, it's too many people that are falsely using these teachings, you know what I mean? And falsely claiming to honor Noble Drew Ali, or to be about Moors, or to be about uplifting fallen humanity. And they're really about getting money. They're really about using this organization, using these teachings, and using people and getting money from you. Whether they try to spin it and say, oh, this is for a Mexim, or this is not real money, or whatever scam or scheme they do. You know what? And actually, I will say this. One thing that I would like to make upfront and clear about the temple in Oakland, when we do start going and getting operated, any and all temple dues, temple like the taxes, because we're gonna look at all of Noble Drew Ali's teachings together. We're gonna go over it, make sure we all understand it. We're gonna have a list of the actual official roles for the temple. What are their duties? What are their obligations, and what do they have to get done? But specifically, as it relates to the money, there's going to be a public transparent ledger that we are going to have, and our dues we will put into an account that we won't touch. There will be a public, and it will be reflected as a public ledger, and we will make it known to the other or to the headquarters, to the main Moorish Science Temple of America, when we have the Supreme Grand Council established, and we have the Supreme Business Manager and the Supreme Secretary. When we have those things established and it's clear this is who we're supposed to send the funds to, we'll immediately transfer it over once everything's established. But I want to make sure that, as a matter of principle, we don't continue to feed the corruption and feed the misappropriation of funds, and feed the people more money, and just send it, and we don't know who we're sending it to, and there's no accountability, and there's no transparency, because it's too many people being taken advantage of. And I want to be the change I wish to see. So I want to see more transparency. It should be very clear what's going on with the funds, especially as a religious organization, et cetera, et cetera. But my point is that there's going to be transparency, clarity, and God willing, there's going to be progress. Any questions before I get out of here? Because it is 7:35 and my stomach is screaming at me like, bruh, can you get something to eat? I know you're trying to teach, but the fasting is over. The sun is down. Let's get busy. Any questions before I get out of here? I hope I made myself clear. I tried to walk you guys through my process in doing this. So it's just like, well, this came out of nowhere. kind of been at this for a while, and honestly, I'm realizing and seeing just how many people are out here taking advantage of Moors and just giving us a bad name, just not doing what we're supposed to do. So, it just made me look at myself and hold myself accountable. And I'm going to do my best effort to create the Moorish Science Temple of America, the branch. Let me be clear. The temple that's going to be in Oakland is a subordinate temple. The structure of Moorish Science Temple of America, there's the Grand Major Temple, the headquarters that was created in Chicago with Noble Ali, and then there's branch temples that are subordinate to the major temple. And it even speaks a little bit about that in chapter 40, chapter 47. Yeah, in chapter 47, line 14, it says, line 12 and 13, it speaks about the laws about members. But line 14 specifically, every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and create their own laws and customs in conjunction with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple. Kind of like, the different states can create different laws and customs and things within the United States, as long as it doesn't supersede the Constitution for the United States, the federal law. So, similar in terms of structure, organizational structure. The subordinate temples have laws and customs depending upon where they are, but it can't supersede the Grand Major Temple and the Divine Constitution for the Moorish Science Temple of America. I just want to make sure I get that out there. I think that's it. I don't see any questions. I appreciate it. Eternal El Bay. I feel, I was taking down some notes on some ideas, and the main things that I think we want to focus on providing is charity, schooling and education. So like more Saturday school, religious studies, community engagement, being involved and serving the community, doing outreach events, and honestly teaching us to be better citizens. So being involved in our civic duties, understanding how does a city operate. Let's start with a city and let's start with the county. Let's understand, what are the roles in the county? What are the roles in the city? What does the supervisor do? What does a mayor do? And breaking an alderman and these different positions so that we can get an understanding of our community on a city or a town or a county level. Then we'll expand to the state. Then we'll expand to the country, and then we can talk about global and all of that. But really want to focus about education, our religious studies, and none of that nonsense. You know what I mean? We not doing none of that more sovereign citizen nonsense. So just understand that. If you come in here like, yo, where the license at so I could drive? Oh, I want to get out of jail. Slow your roll. You know what I mean? We're going to get to what Noble Ali said. That's what we're going to get to. And all the other true and divine prophets. Because that is key. That is very important that we honor all the true and divine prophets. And in order to honor the true and divine prophets, we got to know who they are, and we got to know what they did, what they were about. Yeah, I think I feel good with that. I feel good with that. I don't see no questions. Any last questions before I get up out of here? I appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate your time. I look forward to meeting some folks out here. Real quick, I began building some great relationships when we were doing this study group at Samuel Merritt College out here. And I love the energy in the studying. We just was going down the wrong street. The person that was in charge, wasn't. Anyways, so I'm looking forward to getting back to the study group, getting into this information, and also last thing, and also reaching out and working with other organizations, other communities, people from other nations. Come on now, we're gonna build unity. We're gonna build understanding, um, and love and respect and appreciation for everybody. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel good. Do you feel good? Islam? I think, well, matter of fact, we're going to close it out with Lil Rick. You know what I mean? Since we talking about the temple. You know what I'm talking about? What are we going to talk about today? We'll close it out and say, right here, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. The Moorish Science Temple of America is a lawfully chartered and incorporated organization. Any subordinate temple that desires to receive a charter, the Prophet has them to issue to every state throughout the United States, etc., that the world may hear and know the truth, that among the descendants of Africa there's still much wisdom to be learned in these days for the redemption of the sons of men, under love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Brother was dropping some knowledge. Last bit. Come all ye Asiatic of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourselves with the families of nations. We honor all true and divine prophets. Oh, guys, peace. I meant to send that email, but I totally forgot because this wasn't about the rise and the more stuff. So my apologies. My apologies. But I will. I'll respond to that email as well. A lot of stuff going on. I'll speak about it in the email. But good evening, peace to you. I hope you get a chance to run this back, because it is also partly inspired by. Matter of fact, let me say this before I go. Part of this is inspired by folks on the internet and on the YouTubes that have been extremely critical of Moors. Man, now I'm blanking. How am I blanking with Artie's Corporation? Dang, hold on, let me see. Artie's Corporate Fiction, pardon me. Artie's Corporate Fiction, Swindle, True Science. Man, I'm completely blanking, maybe because I'm fasting. But all of the people that have been extremely critical of Moors, that aren't Moors in particular, European brothers and sisters, the people that have been attacking and saying, the Moors are just a bunch of trolls, or a bunch of cults, or a bunch of sovereign citizens. All of those people, hearing and seeing that criticism, and me trying to fight against it, and then realizing, well, it is Moors that are pushing pushing these things that makes us look like this. It forced me to take a step back. Again, accountability, look at myself. What am I doing? And it's like, I need to do a better job, put more effort in being the example that I wish to see, and being, helping to create a legitimate, official Moorish Science Temple that people can look to and say, yeah, I know it's a lot of nonsense online, but this guy actually, they're doing it right over there. They actually, here, you can look on their website and it's transparent. Here are the leaders. This is how you can contact them. They, went to City Hall. It's official. And God willing, our example and our work will slowly but surely convince others to do right and do what we're supposed to be doing. And it will, even without having to talk down about the people that are, scamming and using this information, for their own gain and their own whatever, it will shame them into stop doing what they're doing, because they'll see, oh man, there's too many examples of the right way to go about it, and we'll clearly look like we're scamming the people. That kind of was funny, but my point is, so that's what this video is about, is just letting the people know and just putting it out there that we will be creating an official Moorish Science temple, subordinate temple, or branch temple. That's a lot of work to be done, and all the people that's in the Bay Area, welcome. Please reach out again. IAMHH temple@gmail.com, or just shoot me a message on here. We're gonna make it happen. With that, I definitely need to eat now because it's about to be 8 o'clock. Love is the key. Love is the way. Much love to you and yours. I'm hungry, so have a great day. Peace and love.